The Toyota Prius C, named the Toyota Aqua in Japan, is a full hybrid gasoline-electric subcompact hatchback manufactured and marketed by Toyota Motor Corporation. The Prius C is the third member of the Prius family, and combines the features of a Yaris-sized car with a hybrid powertrain. The Prius C is priced lower than the conventional Prius and has a higher fuel economy and city driving under United States Environmental Protection Agency test cycles. The Prius C is ranked by the EPA as the 2012 most fuel-efficient compact car when plug-in electric vehicles are excluded. The production version of the Aqua was unveiled in the 2011 Tokyo Motor Show. The production Prius C was introduced in the U.S. at the January 2012 North American International Auto Show in Detroit. The Aqua was launched in Japan in December 2011 at a price of $1.69 million. Sales in several Asian markets began in January 2012. The Prius C was released in the US and Canada in March 2012. Sales in Australia and New Zealand began in April 2012. The Aqua is considered the most successful nameplate launch in Japan in the last 20 years. As of July 2015, the Aqua Prius C is the second most sold hybrid of Toyota Motor Corporation after the regular Prius, with 1,081,332 units sold worldwide, and Japan is the market leader with 901,465 units sold. For 2 consecutive years, 2013 and 2014, the Aqua was the top-selling new car in Japan. Prius C concept. The Toyota Prius C concept car was unveiled at the January 2011 North American International Auto Show in Detroit. Toyota explained that the C in Prius C stands for city-centric vehicle as it is much smaller than the normal Prius and is aimed at younger buyers without families who don't need lots of space. Together with the introduction of the production version of the Toyota Aqua at the 2011 Tokyo Motor Show, the carmaker also exhibited 2 other Aqua concepts, the Aqua Kairiri version and the Aqua Pariri. Specifications. Built on an enhanced and streamlined Yaris-inspired platform, the Prius C features Toyota's Generation 3 hybrid synergy drive with a 1.5-litre DOHC 4-cylinder, 16 valve with VVTi gasoline engine, the same engine model and displacement as on the earliest Priuses, but now beltless, with all accessory drives replaced by electric motors which operate whether the engine is running or not. Unlike earlier Prius HSDs, the Prius C incorporates separate planetary gear reduction paths for the ICE MG1, and the MG2 motor and the HV battery regenerative charging alternator, thereby allowing higher electric-only performance, and higher hybrid performance, with the gear ratios, hence the rotational speeds of the MG1 and MG2, now better matched to their respective mission functions, in a significantly smaller, lighter weight package. The chain drive found in the Gen 1 and Gen 2 HSDs is also eliminated, replaced by helical gears in the Gen 3 HSD. The Prius V and Prius plug-in share this basic Gen 3 design, but not its specific implementation, and which is unique to the Prius C and its lower maximum weight, and lower HSD net horsepower. The hybrid system includes a new high-voltage battery and inverter, and a smaller auxiliary 12-volt battery. Both batteries are housed underneath the rear passenger bench seat, and are easily accessible to service personnel, yet are protected from possible collision damage by a welded tubular steel cage which also acts as support for the rear seat. Being housed underneath the passenger seat, the large high-voltage traction battery does not impact the trunk space, unlike the traction battery on earlier Priuses. This location for the traction battery also significantly lowers the center of gravity of the Prius C, and improves road handling. The hybrid powertrain weighs around 40 kilograms less than that of the standard Prius liftback. The 1NZFXE engine produces 54 kilowatts and the HSD motor is rated at 45 kilowatts. Total output is rated at 74 kilowatts. The body of the Prius C is smaller than the traditional Prius. With a wheelbase of 2,550 mm, it is 150 mm narrower between the axles, and with an overall length of 4,000 mm, the Prius C is 490 mm shorter than the standard Prius liftback. This places the Prius C in the American subcompact class. Fuel economy and emissions. Toyota estimates the fuel economy 35 km per liter on the official JC08 Japanese test cycles and 40 km per liter under the TANA Euro 15 test cycle. Under the United States Environmental Protection Agency test cycles, the Prius C is rated at 53 mpg US city and 46 mpg US highway, for a combined fuel economy of 50 mpg US, the same as the conventional Prius but better in city driving. The Prius C emission certification is SULEV. The Prius C is ranked by the EPA as the 2012 model year most fuel-efficient compact car excluding plug-in electric vehicles. When electric-powered cars are considered, the Chevrolet Volt ranks on top of the compact car category, followed by the Prius C. Production. The Prius C is assembled at the Iwate plant of Toyota Motor East Japan, Incorporated, a wholly owned subsidiary of Toyota Motor Corporation, in Kanagasaki, Iwate in northern Japan. Toyota's initial production capacity for the Aqua Prius C at this facility was 12,000 units per month, with a maximum production capacity of 30,000 units per month. The decision to manufacture at Toyota Motor East Japan was motivated by the 2011 Tohoku earthquake and tsunami. Toyota is making a valuable economic contribution to the region in providing jobs and development associated with production. 2015 updates. A facelifted version was presented at the November 2014 Los Angeles Auto Show. The new model has a revised front bumper and headlights, with a more aggressive and aerodynamic look. The taillights are also modified, now incorporating black plastic segments towards the leading edge. The interior features metallic HVAC vents, as well as a redesigned climate control cluster. Markets and sales. During 2012 a total of 315,406 units were sold worldwide, led by Japan with 266,574 Aquas sold, representing 84.5% of the model global sales. The Prius C is not available in Europe. Instead, Toyota is selling the Toyota Yaris hybrid since June 2012. The Yaris hybrid shares the same powertrain as the Prius C. Global sales of the Aqua Prius C passed the 500,000 milestone in August 2013. As of July 2015, the Aqua Prius C is the second most sold hybrid of Toyota Motor Corporation after the regular Prius, with 1,081,332 units sold worldwide. The market leader is Japan with 901,465 units sold, capturing 83.4% of global sales. Ranking second is the US with 140,720 units, and Canada with 10,183. A total of 28,964 units have been sold in the rest of the world through July 2015. For 2 consecutive years, 2013 and 2014, the Aqua was the top-selling new car in Japan. The Aqua is considered the most successful nameplate launch in Japan in the last 20 years. The following table presents retail sales since deliveries of the Aqua began in December 2011 for the top-selling national markets by year through June 2015. Japan. The Aqua was launched in Japan in December 2011 at a price of A1.69 million yen, and is available at all Japanese Toyota Networks Toyota Store, Toyota Pit Store, Corolla Store and Toyota Nets. Toyota initially established a sales target of 12,000 units per month, but before its market launch, Toyota had received orders for 60,000 Aquas, creating a 4-month waiting list for deliveries. By January 31, 2012, the number of orders grew to 120,000. The Aqua was the third top-selling new car in the Japanese market in February and March 2012, and ranked second from April through September, surpassed only by the combined sales of the regular Prius and Prius I+, as Toyota is reporting sales of both models together. The Aqua ranked as the top-selling new car in Japan in October 2012, surpassing combined sales of the regular Prius and the Prius I+, which ranked second, and ending the Prius brand record of being the top-selling new car in Japan for 16 months in a row. The Aqua kept the top-selling spot through December 2012, and with 266,567 units sold in 2012, the Aqua ranked as the second best-selling car that year after the Prius brand. When sales of these two Prius models are broken down, the Toyota Aqua ranks as the top-selling model in Japan, including carry cars, and the Aqua led monthly sales since February through December 2012. The Aqua continued as the top-selling car in Japan during every month of the first quarter of 2013, and after ranking second behind the Toyota Prius during the second quarter, the Aqua was again the top-selling car in Japan during the third quarter of 2013. A total of 262,367 Aquas were sold in 2013, down 1.6% from 2012, but nevertheless, the Aqua topped new car sales in Japan in 2013, including carry car sales. With 233,212 units sold during 2014, down 11.1% from 2013, the Aqua was the top-selling new car in Japan for the second consecutive year. Since its introduction, a total of 901,465 units have been sold in Japan through July 2015, representing 83.4% of the model global sales. The Toyota Aqua is considered the most successful nameplate launch in the Japanese market of the last 20 years. United States. Sales of the Prius C began in the US in March 2012, at a price starting at $18,950 plus a $760 destination charge. After 3 days in the American market, the carmaker announced that the Prius C became one of Toyota's fastest-selling vehicles. During its first month in the market, the Prius C sold 4,875 units, accounting for 17.0% of the Prius family sales in the U.S. A total of 35,733 units were sold during 2012, and the Prius C ranked as the fourth best-selling hybrid car in the U.S. that year. During 2013 a total of 41,979 units were sold, allowing the Prius C to rank as the third top-selling hybrid car during that year, behind the Prius liftback and the Camry hybrid. During the first 9 months of 2014 Prius C sales were down by 4.7% as compared with the same period in 2013, following the same declining trend as the overall hybrid segment in the American market. As of July 2015, a total of 140,720 units have been sold since its introduction in March 2012. The Prius C is offered in 4 trims named Prius C1 through Prius C4. The basic-level Prius C1 includes power windows and door locks, automatic climate control, multi-information display, hill start assist control, remote keyless entry, projector-beamed halogen headlamps, steering wheel-mounted audio controls, 4-speaker audio, Bluetooth hands-free telephone controls, Bluetooth and USB auxiliary outlets, and rear intermittent window wiper. The Prius C4, which sells for $23,230 also includes Softex-trimmed seats, heated front power mirrors with turn signal indicators, alloy wheels, and fog lamps. For the 2015 model year, the Prius C received a light facelift with alterations to the front and rear lamps and bumpers. 3 new bright colors have also been added to the North American lineup. Canada. Toyota Canada launched the Prius C in March 2012 with a starting price of $20,950 Canadian dollars. During its first month in the Canadian market, 328 units were sold and the Prius C represented about 25% of Toyota subcompact sales that month. A total of 556 units were sold in April, its first full month in the market, accounting for 39% of total Prius family sales and 33% of Toyota subcompact sales. A total of 2,530 units were sold during 2012, 2,816 units in 2013, and sales declined to 2,776 in 2014. Since its introduction, a total of 10,183 Prius C hybrids have been sold through July 2015, Australia equals, the Prius C was released in Australia in April 2012 starting at $23,990 Australian dollars. A second trim with the higher spec model is called Prius C I-Tech and priced at $26,990 Australian dollars. A total of 1,883 units were sold during 2012, significantly ahead of Prius V and the conventional Prius. Sales during the first half of 2013 reached 1,242 units, again surpassing Prius V and the Prius liftback. As of February 2014, cumulative sales since introduction totaled 4,521 units. Again in 2014, sales of the Prius C topped its siblings Prius V and the third-generation Prius hatch. Other countries excluding the Japanese and North American markets, a total of 25,462 units have been sold in other countries as of September 2014. Costa Rica. The Prius C was introduced in 2012 at a price starting at $36,000. As the other electric drive vehicles sold in the country, the Prius C is subject to lower import duties and local taxes. Since October 2012, Prius C owners are exempted from the driving restriction by license plate number used to control access to downtown San Jose. Copyright, the country's capital. Ecuador. Toyota launched the Prius C in Ecuador in April 2012, with the standard price of $26,900. Hong Kong, a total of 358 Prius C was sold during 2012, surpassing combined sales of the conventional Prius and the Prius V. Malaysia, the Prius C was launched in Malaysia in February 2012, where it costs $977,000 including insurance. New Zealand. Sales of the Prius C in New Zealand began in April 2012, starting at a price of $30,990 New Zealand dollars. Philippines. Toyota launched the Prius C in the Philippines in January 2012, with the introductory pricing of a plus or minus $1,475,000. Singapore. The Prius C was launched in Singapore in January 2012. Costing about 115,988 Singapore dollars for the base trim and about 118,988 Singapore dollars for the snazzy trim with a COE of 64,209 Singapore dollars as of March 2013. Taiwan. Toyota launched the Prius C in Taiwan in March 2012, starting at a price of 859,000 new Taiwan dollars. Recognition. The Prius C was one of the 5 finalists for the 2013 Green Car of the Year awarded by the Green Car Journal at the 2012 Los Angeles Auto Show. In November 2012, Consumer Reports ranked the Prius C as the most reliable 2012 model year vehicle in the United States. The magazine based this later ranking on reliability data obtained through its annual auto survey that covers 1.2 million vehicles owned or leased by subscribers to Consumer Reports. The magazine had previously given a negative review to the Prius C. The magazine had based this earlier ranking on limited driving tests by its own testers. See also, Toyota Prius, Toyota Prius V, Toyota Prius plug-in hybrid. References. External links, Toyota Prius C global site, videos, Prius C production model, Prius C concept at 2011 NAIAS.